Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Inventors Roundtable meeting, February 8th, 2024. I can't believe we're in February. I actually had to tell a gentleman that we were going to look at being on the radio, and he needed to give me a date in April. And it's like, oh my God, how fast it goes. It's almost scary. So I welcome everybody here tonight. And so this meeting is being recorded. It will be loaded onto the site. And it helps a lot when we're, discussing things and talking about problems and issues and opportunities. So that other inventors can go, and it's amazing how often somebody said, I couldn't make the meeting, but I went back and listened to it. So those are all good things, and they always appreciate the fact that we don't really have a speaker. You guys are all the guest speakers tonight, so thank you for taking the time to join us and to share your experiences. Jenny, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello there, my name is Jenny. I invented a fashion accessory, more specifically a bra strap aligner that aligns your thin strap garment with your bra. So I basically invented it for myself because I was always trying to wear those cute little tank tops, black tank top with black little dress, but I still had to have the support of a bra. And I'd always have the misalignment for me was in the back. So this invention came to reality. I have inventory. It's at a shipping fulfillment center. People like Rita are helping me get into expos and just really getting it launched. This is what it looks like.
It's very cool. Now,
you can see it. Yep.
You align it on the front, but do you align it on the back as well?
Front or back, wherever the misalignment is.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I need, 2 or 3 different sets of those in different colors. Even though I am an old fart, I have the same problem. And so, yes, I could definitely see it. You're going to have a good time at this show since you've got inventory. You can actually take orders. You can sell product. You can walk the floor as an exhibitor. So this will be a really good one for you.
Yay. And then will we have a few minutes to talk about it during this call, just so I can wrap my head around what I can put on my booth and decorate? And
yes, we will. We will also have a briefing, and I'm getting ready to send out the details on that so that everybody then can see everybody else's products.
Great.
All righty. So, G, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we had a 719 phone number on there. It disappeared. It might have been one of the gentlemen, and he's decided that we were all ladies. So,
and then my spiel didn't help that.
Hi,
I'm G. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm G. Kim, and I'm currently developing a beauty product. It's a makeup tool. It helps you with the application of makeup, and I'm still in the design phase. This next week, I'm hitting up Rita for the starting of the patent. I've done a preliminary search, but it's been about 2.5 years, so I think I just feel comfortable, I guess, doing it all, do another clean sweep of that.
Yeah.
But
it's good to get it done because this does the international part too, and it also looks for the products that are out there that don't show up at the USPTO yet.
Yeah, and then I can send you what I have as well, if that would help. But yeah, I'm just working with a mechanical engineer, and we're really making breakthroughs. I'm doing a lot of 3D printing, lots of versions here, and it's just very exciting. But I feel like I'm getting closer, but I'm just, you know how it is. It's like every time you take an inch forward, I feel like I take like 2 inches back, and then I go an inch forward. And so I'm just making slow progress, which is great.
It's not unusual that, as you're going through it, you feel like you're not progressing. And one of the things that you do that certainly helps is when you schedule going to the meetings, because we ask, what progress have you made since you were here last? And you say, well, they're going to ask me, I've got to do something. And so it does help, when you make steps.
Yeah.
And that way,
having a group behind you always helps, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And, even though we're virtual and we're not sitting across the table, I did that for probably 12 years, where we actually met in a restaurant in downtown Denver. And then it just got harder and harder. Parking was always an issue. People were trying to come after work. And this is so much easier. You can have a dinner and a glass of wine and sit right at your desk and not have to worry about finding parking. It's always great.
Yep.
For sometimes it's a babysitter. So anyway, it's good to see all of you. And we're coast to coast. That's the other cool thing is that, when we were in Denver, it was just the Denver metro area. And then I would fly to Boston and do them in Boston. And then I would fly to Utah and do them in Utah. And it's just got harder and harder to get on that airplane all the time. Besides, I'm an old fart. I prefer sitting at my computer. So Samantha, introduce yourself. Samantha, are you there?
Her mic is turned off.
I know her mic is turned off. Can you turn your mic on? All right, we'll see if she joins us. I'll notice if her mic goes off because I'll be able to see it. I see you're waving at us, Samantha. That's great. Can you turn your mic on?
It's on the bottom left. It looks like a little microphone.
I can't turn her on remotely, or I would. Because it's her equipment. So anyway, all right, if you can find your mic, it's down at the bottom. You should be able to see it. It would have a turn off, it's a little mic. I'm denied. You're denied. Ooh. All right.
You might log out again and come in, because I was having problems with my camera too. So
all right,
log off and then come back on.
Try that. Otherwise, we'll let you ask questions in the chat room if you've got any. But try logging off and then logging back on the call. Sometimes with different machines, it works just a little bit differently. So anyway, Allison, you were, kind of telling us, what is your product? What did you invent?
So it's called the language book. So if you guys ever heard of the picture exchange communication system, it's called PEX. Basically, it was a system designed many years ago for children that are nonverbal to speech delayed. So I took it and I kind of redid it on my own, and I handmade it from a photo album book, and basically handmade it, put Velcro, and I glued some things in it, and then I put some pictures, and then wrote some verbal phrases and laminated and put them in the back to go along with basically the instructions of it, because there's an instruction manual to teach practitioners or parents, say, how they want to use it to teach their kids, basically for verbal communication, functional communication.
So did you file then a copyright?
Yeah. So I went through all that.
Yeah.
I went through that with Event Home. And now I'm just kind of in the ends and ends of like finding expos and places where I can take it out into the public.
Okay.
So that's why I'm here to learn.
Probably the best one for that product is the ABC Kids Expo.
Oh, okay.
All right. You want to stay away from shows that focus on inventors. You want to focus on shows that are appropriate for your product.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that, but I also was thinking possibly, like expos that are actually just for inventors.
No,
but
no.
Is it because of the competition?
No, it's because it's a feeding frenzy and the inventor is the main course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want to go where people would buy your product, and that's not an inventor expo. The main people at the Inventor Expo are the people that are trying to sell you services. They're trying to sell you marketing services, intellectual property services, everything under the sun. All right. The important place to go is where the people would be a reseller of your product.
So what was it called? ABC Kids?
ABC Kids Expo.
And when is that one?
I don't know when it is. I'd gone several times before COVID. I haven't been since COVID. Oh, goodness gracious. ABC Kids Expo. I think that the last one. Oh, Samantha, there you are. Good to see you. And but you can look up ABC Kids Expo and it'll come up and you'll be able to see where the next one is.
Okay. So they're in different states, of course. Do you know?
Different trade shows move around.
Okay.
And some of them are in the same spot all the time. If you were going to the Global Pet Expo, it's almost always in Orlando.
Okay.
If you were going, if you were going with us to the ASD Market Week, it is always at the Las Vegas Convention Center in Las Vegas.
What is that one called?
Called ASD Market Week.
ASD Market Week.
That is, Andrea is going to that one. Jenny is going to that one. It is for all products. So there's, every category is there. It is a consumer business to business So consumer products that are sold business to business.
Uh-huh.
And we are going, it's the second week in March.
Oh, oh wow, that's coming
Oh,
up
it's coming up,
soon.
and we're filling our spots. We're taking 40 inventors.
Oh wow.
And not all the inventors can go, but the products, we're taking the products. And these guys have been really good to work with. All right, so who is our 719? Are you there?
Oh, that might be me, Rita. It's Ryan.
Oh, hi, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
And Ryan is going with us, all right, to the ASD Market Week as well. So
Now, do you guys go every year, Rita?
we have gone to the National Hardware Show every year for the last 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And so we worked our way up from being back by the cargo doors and the loading docks to being up in the front, right in the front row. And we were giving the United Inventors Association a run for their money because it was a moneymaker for them. And they didn't like the fact that they were back by the cargo doors and we were not any longer.
Okay.
So they put the pressure on National Hardware Show, and they wanted us to be forced to move back there with them. They were forcing us to downsize. They were limiting how many products we could take. And for goodness sakes, it's the hardware show. All right, so we decided, tough, we're moving on. So we did. We found ASD Market Week. They have been wonderful to work with. They were on the radio with us Monday. Today's Thursday. So they came on, their marketing VP came on and was on the radio with us. And she was so excited that we were going to be there. They are, for our 800 square feet, we are being charged the same thing that the National Hardware Show wanted to charge us, 400 square feet back by the cargo doors. And we are by the concession area. So we are up close to the front. We'll be right by the main traffic, and they have been delightful to work with. So we are very happy that we have moved on and left the hardware show in the dust. But one of the things like National Hardware Show, and one of the reasons we did not want to work with that inventor group, all right, is because one, they were back by the freaking cargo doors. It was cold back there. And the main people that went by those inventors, there were times they would come to our booth crying because they weren't with us.
Mm-hmm.
It was the main people that would go there. They were trying to sell them services instead of trying to buy their product. They were trying to force them into startup mode instead of giving them the option of licensing if they wanted to. They weren't supportive in the way of getting them out there. They were trying to get them into Shark Tank mode. And it's like, most inventors are not Shark Tank material. So, what are the options? And where, so many of the other invention promotion companies, they would have a booth and a book and the products would be in the book. We had the inventors there. All the inventors would go and they would work their own product. They would, team up with somebody else. We would have a variety of products. So ASD Market Week has been a much better option for us and for our inventors, because their tagline is it's everything from dustpans to diamonds. We say everything from diapers to diamonds because it just had a little better ring to it. So it's been, it's been very interesting to work with them. It's opened up, fashion and baby products and, toys and all the things that we wouldn't have taken to the hardware show.
And where was the hardware show located?
Convention Center in Las Vegas.
Oh, it was in Vegas as well?
Yeah, but they were on one floor. ASD Market Week is on 3 floors. ASD Market Week has roughly 30,000 attendees, and the National Hardware Show had 8.
Oh, okay.
So big difference. And just that, we can take things like, Andrea's pet product and, Jenny's fashion product and Ryan's glove mold, because it's so many different variety of things.
Yeah.
So, Samantha, introduce yourself now and tell us what you're working on and where are you?
Hi, I'm in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Okay.
So I don't have any products yet. I have a couple products ideas, but I really just didn't know where to start. So that's why I'm here.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. All right. Who's got questions? Jenny, you wanted to ask some questions about the show coming up. And so I would imagine that your questions would apply to anybody going to a trade show.
Sure. Yeah. So I have one of the smaller setups. Can we put banners? Is there a max on how tall the banner can be? How much space do I have in front of my table?
Okay, the table space is going to be, you need to think, you know, 3 by 3, 3 by 4 space. All right.
Okay.
You'll be able to stand behind your table. All right.
Okay.
We will use banners for each of everybody who brings one. But
Okay.
they need to be, and we will put them on our framework. So they need to be, you know, smaller. They're usually, that size is pretty consistent with.
So what if I had it, you know, I have a banner that's probably my height, floor banner, will that be okay?
Bring it, we'll see if we can use it.
Okay.
All right. Sometimes if, you know, depending on how big the footprint is, we set it on the table behind. We set it on the table behind your display. If
Okay.
you can, I know that you can get, you know, just like the top part of a mannequin on Amazon. So if you've got one or you can get one, bring one and put a shirt on it.
Okay. And I'll be my own model too.
Oh, there you
Showing
go.
Before and afters, but I think model is great too.
Yeah. And that works very well. If we get the chance to do some fashion pedestals, all right, that would work on that as well.
Okay. And then I can do a little display on my table where people can touch it, buy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Perfect.
absolutely.
And there's is there any restrictions on anything?
Probably. What do you want on a restriction?
I just did a bridal show a couple weeks ago and it was like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't, I can't even think of all the things you couldn't do, but.
The only thing I know for sure is you cannot wear your birthday suit. Other than that,
that's not a problem.
Okay. Other than that, we're pretty good to go. They haven't given me any, you know, you can sell one-on-one, you can take orders, you can display it. Well, we will have videos. We've got plenty of electricity in there.
Do I need to get a 1-day sales license? That was one thing that the bridal show made us have, even though we, you know, I'm licensed in Colorado, so I don't know what the deal was with that. I didn't do it.
Jenny, don't worry about it.
Okay, good. I like that attitude. Cool.
You know, if they say anything to us, you know, at that point, we'll say, take the order, Jenny. Don't charge them any money. Send them the invoice when you get back home.
Perfect.
And then you can go that way.
Okay.
You know, back in the day, all right, when we were first starting out, at one point they had threatened to arrest me because I was pushing all the buttons at the National Hardware Show. My mother would go as a salesman. This is the first time in, I think, 12 years my mother has not gone as a salesman. She is 88. Wow. And she goes, I just can't go. And, you know, Ryan knows my mother. He's been there a couple of times when my mother was there, but she was the feistiest little thing. And there was one time she was running out the doors to get over the threshold before the security guards came and got her. And then she turned around after she crossed the threshold and flipped them off. And like, you go, Mom. And, you know, we were always pushing their buttons. We would always try to get so many badges. We would crash the system. They finally said, just email us the names and we will get the badges. And then they revamped their whole system so that we wouldn't crash it anymore and we could submit the names. So we did push a lot of buttons. And once we got out onto the main floor, things went, you know, a lot more smoothly. And we just kept moving up. I mean, even when COVID hit, we went to everything and we just kept moving up until we got up into the front rows. And that's what really yanked the UIA, the United Inventors Association's button, is that we were front. We were voted the most active booth in the whole convention because we had so many people around us. And
that's so cool.
You know, buyers learned that we were there with all the new products. So that's where they would come looking for us.
Awesome. Do we get a list of all the attendees?
Not the attendees. It's a 30,000 page list. You really don't want that. You can see the exhibitors already. I will walk through how to get in and see who the exhibitors are. We will talk about the best way of getting lead retrieval. Yeah. And, you know, they offer to sell me the list, but it just comes as a massive spreadsheet, which it's really hard to go through it.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
And then would you recommend?
We will know the categories and you will know where you want to walk because you'll be able to see where the right categories are for your product.
Okay.
And you'll want to go and walk that area and work that area. And then you can listen to who's there. We're also going to be doing
walking, because it's only going to be me since it's just a small setup.
Yeah, your product will be covered in the booth by everybody else who's still there, but I also assign staff to take your product out.
Great. Okay, cool.
Okay. So they'll take the product out, they'll work the product for you. We'll post everything online in a variety of different ways. Our dashboard platform is a little bit different than we've had in the past. So we'll be working with them to expand that for next year, but we had to kind of see what it was going to look like for this year.
Okay.
And so we'll be expanding that. They've been pretty good to work with as far as, allowing us wiggle room.
Perfect.
all of that.
I have a question.
Yeah, Allison,
How many products do you have to have in inventory, or does it matter?
you don't have to have any functioning proof of concept prototype.
Oh,
Yeah, Andrea's got one. Are you bringing one or two? Andrea, one. So she's got one. And a lot of inventors are just like that. They've got one sexy prototype. Back in the day, we used to drive an 18-foot panel truck from Denver to Las Vegas for the National Hardware Show, and we had everybody ship their prototypes to us. I know that coming back over those passes on Mother's Day weekend is when we were coming back, and there was a blizzard every darn time. Oh, there's hers. There's Andrea's. There's her pictures.
is that
It
a
is
suitcase?
Pet travel bag.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that you can put the food in the different little sections.
Oh my gosh, what a great idea.
So it
Thank
is.
you. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's almost done. I just
There
have to
you go.
follow touches and then it's on its way.
Yep.
Oh,
So anyway, we would drive back over the passes in the snow over the 14,000-foot summits, and I just was waiting for that truck to go over the side. Nobody would have cared what happened to me, but they would have all wanted to know, oh my God, my prototype, it was one of a kind. So then we've got an inventor out there now. We ship to his house. So everybody coming from around the country just ships to Steve. He signs for all the packages, keeps them safe in his garage, and then when we're ready for them at the convention center, he brings them into us. So
Okay.
that's helped a lot.
I have a question for anyone actually on here. When you guys sell your product, how do you guys sell it? Do you guys use like a Square, or do you take cash, or do you take both?
You can do anything you want out there, really. That is something that we allow, the inventors decide. So you can do, in the past, they've taken the information and you can charge a credit card afterwards. I do have PayPal that would be an option if you needed it when we were out there. But most of the time, the inventors, if they're able to take orders, they know how they want to do it.
Okay, so
So
it's kind of
Allison-
up to you.
what I did that seemed to work really well and made it really easy. You know those acrylic stands that you can put a piece of paper in? It's
I
like,
believe.
it's just like an advertising piece. You just put your piece of paper in it, and then if somebody wants to look at it. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So what I did is I sold, I could take payments Venmo, PayPal, or through my website. So I just put 3 different QR codes on that. So they just scanned whichever way they had, or which was easier for them. And I took cash. So I brought like $200 worth of 5s, 1s, 10s to collect that way too.
Yeah. So if you can do it any way you want. I don't control that. I don't take a, commission on sales. If you are able to take orders, more power to you, take the orders.
Okay.
For products like Andrea's, where you're looking for licensing, same thing with Ryan's, we're looking for licensing. So on those, the questions that we ask people will be a little bit different. And then the information that we're gathering will be for follow-up afterwards for licensing. But there will be several people out there that are able to take orders, and that's what they do.
Okay.
Okay. You want to join us?
I really want to go. Yeah, I do. I do. I only have one right now. Well, I used to have 3 books made, and then now I have one kind of more prototype book that I made that I plan on making some more. But I mean, I guess if you don't have to go and sell your products, I mean, everybody goes there for different reasons, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But
A lot. It's kind of 3 different categories.
mhm.
All right. Early on, inventors with proof of concept prototype are going to gather information. They want to find out interest in their product. They want to be able to find out price points of their product. Sometimes packaging is a big deal. Different chains want different type of packaging. It's not unusual that they'll say, we'll tell you what we want if we place an order. Well, if you've got, 5,000 units and they've already been put into, packaging, and now you've got to unpackage them and put them into what the store wanted, you think about things a little bit differently. So knowing those things about your product are important. We've had inventors that go out there and they gather information, and sometimes they get really good suggestions. It's like, gee, I wish it would do this. And they go, didn't even think about that. So then they decide to go back and maybe do another prototype, maybe take a look at their patent, see if they want to make any changes. So that's one group. They're going out there. They've just got prototypes. They're going to gather information. The other group is pretty set in the fact that they've got prototypes, maybe a short run that they've got done. They are really serious then about considering who would place an order. So do they go back and make an order then, or who would be interested in licensing? Because we can license with sexy prototype and patent pending status.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we'll look at that. And then there's the other group, like Jenny, that's got inventory. They're looking to make sales. They just want then the access to the buying public.
Okay. And how big is the square footage, the area that you guys
Well, we've got 800 square feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we're right by the concession area.
Oh, nice.
So we've got, a pretty good pathway.
So everybody kind of works, on their own table, or do you guys just have
Everybody works in the same space. I've got a table for everybody. They're different sizes. We've got the tablecloths. We've got the big monitors already that are there. That's always in a storage unit in Las Vegas. So we just go pick it up and bring it to the convention center. And, we get everything set up. We've got all the electricity that we need. We've got to have an Ethernet cable this year because we're going to be doing radio right from the booth.
Oh, wow.
So we'll get a lot of the inventors on then for the recordings. And Jenny, I still need to get you on the radio.
Okay.
My dear, you're going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. All right. So what are you doing on Monday afternoons?
I'll make it happen.
All right. 2 weeks. A week from Monday.
Okay.
I've got this Monday filled. Put us down in 2 weeks.
Okay. What time of day?
It's always in about 2 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay.
All right. You're in Denver area?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're
12.
new-ish. Figured
Okay.
you're about 15 or so, right
Okay.
around.
Sounds good.
All right. We're trying to get everybody who's going to the show on the radio beforehand to talk about, part of their pathway, the challenges. I get to pick the topics and I get to pick the inventors.
Now, what's your invention, Rita? Or do you create and design?
You don't need me to be an inventor. You need me to get from here's where you are and here's where you want to be.
Okay.
All right. I did write 3 murder mysteries.
Oh, book published.
Wow.
They were published. I think you can still get them on Amazon for $1. But back in the day when my girls were in high school, I published 3 murder mysteries. So I know what it takes to say, I think I'll do this, and then how to get it to the public. And I think one of the highlights was when I actually got on an airplane and I saw somebody reading my book and I didn't know them.
So cool.
So we were in the tattered cover for years, the big store in Denver. And so it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was, the thing I did. Then I tutored high school students for years when we lived in Chicago. So I was, the parents would say, how do you do this? They're not failing anymore. And even the teachers was like, what do you do? And it's like, well, it's not rocket science, but I guess for some of them it was. But I taught the 10th grade boys how English grammar was like an algebra problem. It's like, why doesn't the teacher do it this way? And then it's like, well, when they were doing, Julius Caesar or whatever, or Shakespeare and whatever, and they'd say, we like murder. And it's like, well, there's murder. Well, we kind of like, it's all there, boys. You just have to know how to look for it. And so I'd, sit them around the kitchen table and, on a Saturday morning, and we would go through that, and then they would, do really well on the test. And the teachers was like, how do you do this? But I tutored then, German and Spanish and French. They were failing and I had the book. I mean, it wasn't, rocket science. I did not do science. Rocket science was not my strong suit. But a lot of the other things, and it was before they had the Sylvan Learning Centers. So I did that for 16 years when we lived in Chicago. It was a lot of fun, but that was kind of my background.
Oh, okay.
And then I got married, and I was a road warrior for a funeral home industry product. I sold an embalming product, and I drove all over the Western United States to do that. And it was a startup company. It was a very cool product. And then I got married, and I realized there were more entertaining things to do at 5 o'clock in the morning than drive away. So stopped doing that. He's an attorney, licensed in New York and Connecticut. And I actually picked him off the internet. And after knowing him for 2 days, we got married.
Wow.
That
what
was
a story.
21 years ago. So
Mhm.
yes, he is the love of my life, and we have a wonderful time together. Ryan has met him because he always goes to the show. So if you're at the show, you will meet him. But he is the senior attorney for the patent attorneys who work for him.
Oh.
And so that's kind of that's how it allows me to reach out and poke him with a stick and say, no. And they go, you're not an attorney. It's like, oh, your senior partner's an attorney and he's licensed in New York. So suck it up, Buttercup. I get to do all the admin. And that allows me to be the advocate then for the inventor.
Nice.
So that is my life in 15 minutes. So, and anyway, G, tell us you're going to get your search done and do that. What is your product? Tell us more about what your product is.
So my product is very specific. It's not for everyone. It's for women who have alopecia or are currently going through chemotherapy, who have trichotillomania, who are burn victims, people who suddenly lose their brows. And I have a tool that could help them apply makeup to their brow area. And so, the volume, when I first started this adventure, I was weighing the whole license versus do I do the whole thing? And doing the whole thing, I did some calculations and it's freaking expensive.
Yes, it is freaking expensive.
I mean, we're talking like, $500,000, probably more. And so that kind of money issue always blocked me. It always blocked me. As soon as I would start designing, like I would just go, my mind would wander back to the money part. And then I'd be like, no, I can't. So anyway, after a while, though, it got to a point where this product, it's got to come out. It's for women. I'm a permanent makeup artist. So all day long, I'm helping. I have clients who have no brows. And so I'm giving them permanent makeup, but there are people who are terrified of tattooing their face. And so that's why I had to come up with an alternative. And also I've been doing this for 14 years, a permanent makeup artist. As we get older, our skin gets thinner and it's just a lot more delicate. So it's not a great canvas to be tattooing over and over again. And so it's great for younger people because their skin's hardier, but as we get older, everything gets a little more delicate. And so yeah, I'm inventing this. It's a device. It's a mechanical device. There's moving parts, and I've never done anything like this before. I've worked with many engineers. So initially I started with the ones that, they were kind of like not artists, but more of sketching. And then as you get a little higher, the price increases with the level of expertise the engineer has. However, I stumbled upon my last engineer where he kind of was within the range that I could afford. And we work really well together. We just have he's very laid back and I'm driving this whole thing. So what he does is he provides he provides a design that's safe, meaning because it's mechanical. So people are going to be pounding it. You could drop it, and so he's trying to give me the most safest and the most sturdiest design where since I'm driving, I keep pushing him to make it a little more pretty, right? Girls they like round, they like soft edges, they like things to look cute. And so anyway,
Yeah.
True. It's all true.
You're right. Yep.
So I've come a long way. And I want to say I think he's my fifth engineer. And so each engineer, some were stinkers, but even the stinkers, I learned a lot because they provided me with sketches where I could use to say, okay, this isn't it, but there's elements of it that, that I can incorporate into in explaining what I want to design. And so, yeah, this guy that I found, his name's Charlie. He's in North Carolina and I'm in California. I'm hoping that he takes me to the end. I'm really hopeful.
Good. I'm excited to see what you've got.
Yeah,
This is the most you've talked about it.
Wow.
You know, I've talked to, I have this one person that I confide in, and basically it's like, hold your cards as close as you can until the patent, right? Once you start the patent process. And so I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. And the whole thing with me with the delaying of the patent was because I understand about the 12 months of the provisional.
Right.
And so this I've been designing since 2019. So I kind of had to make sure that I could do this within the 12 months when I first file my provisional. I think there's an extension, right? You could do an extension if you really want.
No. The way you do it is you refile the provisional if you have to.
Okay.
All right. So you could end up getting things back that you can't claim. And so you may end up having to change your mold or your design. So it's a good time to get it done. So that while the guys are, the engineer is still working on it, because if it comes back and it's like, okay, we can use this because that patent is expired, but we cannot use this and we cannot claim it because we're infringing on somebody else. And so getting to know that before you've got a final prototype is a good thing, because it does happen. We've got a lady, she's going to the show, and she has just been beside herself because the attorney did not do a good search, and we found 4 international searches that were dead on. And so now she's, looking at, she's absolutely obsessed with filing that utility patent. But, while she'll be able to ride patent pending strategy for a couple of years, the chances of it issuing are slim to none. And she knows that now, and she knows it's part of her strategy. But she's got to go out the door with a couple of design patents, which is what she's looking at now. And, she had a prototyper do the prototypes, but they changed it just a little bit. And so if she'd done the, she did the provisional, and then she had the good search done, and it came back and it's like, you can't do this because you're infringing on all these things over here. So then she had, some designs done, and now she's getting ready to have the design patent done. But a design patent has got to be done exactly the way the prototype is, without too much leeway. So you're in a good spot where you spent some time finding out whether or not you could do it, but now before you finalize it, you want to get the search done, so if there's any things that need to be changed or parameters you need to know. You can always use something that's expired, but you can't use something that's currently being, and even if it's been done in another country.
Is it 20 years? Is it the expiration 20 or 10?
It's good for 20 years from the date of filing.
Okay.
All right. And it usually takes about 3 years for it to file. And it used to be that was kind of, there'd be 2 years, 4 years, whatever, from the date of issue. It was 17 years from the date of issue. And they changed that to be 20 years from the date of filing.
Oh,
So it was more consistent then. Okay. So, all right. Ryan, all right, has got a very good product. He has got a mold for making all of those gloves that we use during the pandemic. So Ryan, you want to tell the ladies what it is that your product does?
Well, it makes a better glove mold, and it makes them faster, and it makes them without any pinholes. And then with a little trick, I can make a needle-proof glove with the urethane. And the industry hasn't been able to make a urethane glove because it's so sticky. But we've figured out how to get around that to make a urethane glove for like for emergency medical, fire department, police, first responders.
what material is your gloves made out of?
The other ones are all made of the vinyl latex. They can make rubber off the mold.
Nitro.
It accepts all materials.
Yeah, the ones that you go and buy now, if you filled them full of water, the water would leak out because they're full of pinholes. And the ones that Ryan does with his mold eliminates that, so you're not nearly as vulnerable to catching things through the gloves.
Right.
And most people don't know that. I mean, we think we put on these stupid rubber gloves thinking that we're protected, and realizing that they're full of pinholes, and it's like, oh, not so much.
Are they just for are they just for like doctor's office and stuff, or can you use them for sports?
They're for anything where you would have, those thin gloves that you buy now for the PPEs.
Oh, like the latex gloves?
Mhm.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of, oh, so they're not like gloves you can do yard work or anything.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I don't know, I use mine, the stupid ones because they don't protect me from anything else but the bugs. But yeah, you could if you needed to, but they're more for the cleaning and the protection and that kind of thing, more for the PPE stuff.
Nitrile, like they use in automotive. A lot of them use nitrile gloves for auto work, automotive.
I use nitrile.
Because you're right, because of the grease and oils. It
Yeah,
doesn't,
like
eat it.
motorcycle riders. So could you use them on motorcycles?
I think
You
a
mean
lot
like
of
when
people
you
are
ride a
allergic to latex.
I guess I would have to see it.
Yeah, it's if you think
Mhm.
about the ones where you'd buy a box of 100.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I think I
more-
know what you're talking about, like the latex gloves that you just, that come in the box.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So Brian, are you marketing toward the manufacturers, or are you going to start producing gloves?
He
The
wants
manufacturer produces the
Yeah.
gloves, and
He
then
wants to be able
also
to license it to the manufacturers.
You're licensing it to them?
right.
Okay.
So they would
Oh.
have control of the molds instead of sending them out across, to Asia or somewhere that makes the gloves.
Okay, so
They would have control.
have you ever done any sales on your product?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. You're kind of like me. I know Jenny, I think she's done sales on her product, right? Have you done wholesale and retail?
Just, sorry, am I on mute? No, I've only done retail. Wholesale was ideal. I thought it was a no-brainer, going to be so easy, but reality smacked me hard. And now I know that maybe retail is the first way to start.
Oh,
Jenny, can I ask how much your product costs?
To manufacture?
No, for retail.
Just to make it, it's $11.98.
To make or to
No, to
sell?
buy to buy as a consumer.
Oh, so it's $12. It's
Mm-hmm.
$12. Okay.
And how many's in a set, Jenny? Is that a
Two.
set of 2?
Two, yeah. So there's one hidden, but here's one that she's wearing it. And if you can see, she aligns her straps and then kind of twists it on. Super easy.
Yeah, I went to the website. It looks good.
Oh, thank you. Michael's doing great, by the way.
Good.
Yeah.
Jenny, how many have
I
you
do like it.
produced?
He does all of mine too.
How many have you produced?
6,000.
oh,
So
wow.
thanks to Rita. Yeah. So, to get a better price point, you need to I know it's a gamble. How much do I order? But you also don't want to order so few that you're in over your head cost wise. So that was kind of the nice break even point where I could still do retail sales and build back the budget. But thanks to Rita, she's put me in touch with a shipping fulfillment company and a social media company that's really helped, because I was interviewing others that were so expensive. So it's just like, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to come out ahead? So I really appreciate those contacts because they have saved me big time.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I know, Mike, it's like, you don't get to not do my work because you're working for somebody else. I'm gonna stop giving your name out. And he goes, no, don't worry about it. In fact, one of the ladies her brother was the inventor last year, and they went with us to the show, and she was his spokesperson, bookkeeper. She has gone to work for Mike.
Oh, that's great.
And that's how they met, was out there at the show last year.
You never know who you're going to meet.
Never know. I had been
Yeah.
looking for someone to help me with my social media. It was always on my list to do. It's like, you got to do this. Yeah. And the next day, you got to do this. And I never did. And when we were selling our place in Denver, a lady that I knew from the chamber came over and was working for the realtor I hired. And it's like, oh, Jen, what's you been up to? Well, I got married. She got married to Mike. And that's
How crazy is that?
so crazy.
That's a small world.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yes, it was wonderful. And so he's worked for me then since we sold our condo in Denver.
Wow. And I wish I knew you when you lived in Denver. We would have been best buds.
I know, right? We have to come
Darn
out to Tennessee for a vacation.
Yeah,
When
definitely.
the snow melts. We live in the Smoky Mountains. We are 40 miles from Dollywood.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, you know, if you ever want to come out,
Yeah.
Asheville, we're about 40 miles from Asheville. We live right kind of in the middle.
Okay.
So if
How
you're ever
fun.
out in the Smokies for a vacation,
Yeah.
I think
So-
Andrea, weren't you going to drive over? She's going to drive over. She lives in Virginia,
Yeah.
and she's going to drive over for dinner in a couple of weeks and show me her prototype.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah. It's my baby. I'm showing her my baby.
Yeah.
Yay. That's exciting.
Show you how to
So-
take care of
so
it.
you haven't, Andrea, you haven't had any sales either?
No, because I'm just now getting the prototype, and it's been a long story, but I found Rita and we're gonna go with this the way it should go. So she's gonna find me a wonderful license or many. And again, hopefully there'll just be too many, and we'll have to get a, put your best offer in by this date and this time, because I don't know what you do if you get more than one, but I see a lot of options.
Pretty much it.
So-
Yeah. It's like, we look for a better royalty offer. So
So do you have a manufacturer or do you make them yourself?
No, no. It's a product that will require a lot more effort, I think, because of the compartments and the way what it's meant to do, and just a lot more. I couldn't. It would take a lot to get that out on the market myself.
Yeah.
To produce
So
in the
she's
mass
looking for
quantity, and I've got people lined up at the door to have it. So at this point, I'm kind of like, because everybody has their pets, and they all travel with pets.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that this will just lead me into a next product. But anyway,
It will.
I'm excited for it. So
yep. So
Thank
are we.
you.
And so,
Samantha, do you have
Andrea,
any questions? Oh, wait a second.
did you do the patent? You were
Yeah.
working with Rita's.
Fully international, domestic, and it's patent pending.
How long did it take? How long did you work with the attorney?
Oh gosh, what
Or
was
did
that,
you
Rita?
just
6 weeks? 6 weeks, maybe
Oh,
Sweet.
about 6 weeks.
that's
I
not
already had
bad.
I had a provisional, and then we did a quick one again, and then right into the full patents on it.
I see.
Yeah.
So, different attorneys do it different ways. We've got one group of people where they said the gentleman, her name was Carol, and they told her that her patent was going to expire in I think it was a couple of weeks, and she hadn't pulled the trigger on it, but they would charge her an extra few $100s for it to pay the penalties, to go ahead and file late in what they were going to charge her, and it'd be 4 months. And I think that it was the same attorney that you used. He goes, I'll have her done on time, no penalty fees, and it was going to be about half of what the other firm was going to charge
Oh
her.
my gosh.
So yeah, he got her done. And that's where, when he said, no, we had an emergency come up, remember when he said we had an emergency come up, that was Carol. And so she was very glad to, have somebody that would, just hustle it up and get it done. And
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, gosh, I'm
so
just
it does make a
excited at
difference.
this point. Yeah.
They've all got a few deadlines that they're trying to hit for the show.
Yeah.
So they're pretty good guys.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Samantha in terms of what products are you thinking of? What industry?
I have a couple different ones. I had a cat feeder that's supposed to be able to feed multiple cats, because I had multiple cats and I realized that none of the feeders I found were like really good. Like I had to buy like 3 or 4 feeders because they all couldn't eat at the same time. I was just like, I looked online everywhere for it, and I was like, okay, so I guess I have to make it myself. But yeah,
That's the way it happens a lot of times.
Mhm.
yeah, usually.
I have one daughter with 2 cats and the other daughter with 4 cats. So hustle it up, Samantha.
Yeah.
So, well, you go through kind of one step at a time, and come back to the meetings, because you get encouraged, listening to other people's stories and what they did and how they got out there. And I mean, all of your products are very, very different. But some of the steps are very similar. And you can go to my website if you want to, Inventor Lady, and download the Inventor's Galaxy Guide. It's free. It's about a 30-minute read, and it talks about how the pendulum swings through the different phases of inventing. So you can kind of get a sense of, first steps, second steps, different resources, what to expect. And that's, like I said, it's about a 30-minute read, but it really gives you a lot of information in that short time on what to expect, what to look for.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Any other questions, guys? Andrea, any questions about the show coming up? I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm working, the next phase I have to go into, we're going to finish it this weekend, and then we're going to roll right into the 1 minute video. And I see it all in my head, but since I have a husband and a child who are really good, like with cinema, communications and media and all that, they're going to put it together, and I'm going to have things rolling in and words. And so we're going to get it all together and show it to you and put it up and show you how we were going to display. And I've got little props and things, and we'll go from there. I mean,
excellent.
yeah,
Good job.
Try it,
Yep.
Now, Rita, if I had some questions about resources of an attorney, because I did a provisional patent basically a while back, and then I redid my invention.
Mhm.
So I might want to get in contact with an attorney just to make sure everything is legit. But I think everything should be fine just now. But if I needed it, do you have resources?
Yeah, I do. And keep it. Did you do it yourself?
Did I handmade it? Yeah.
No, the patent. Did you do it yourself?
I did it through Event Home. I went on the platform Event Home.
Okay.
I
That
got
is
it.
one of the, if you ever say that to a licensee, they will walk away.
Oh, well.
They want to know a registered patent attorney filed it for you. Because, when someone licenses the product, they're going to put generally about $500,000 into getting it into the marketplace. And they want to know that they can defend the patent if someone infringes on it, because they're the one that pays the big bill. All right.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so that's why, and so, when we're talking about licensing, the first conversation with a licensee is 15 seconds. They ask 4 questions. What problem did you solve? How did you solve it? Did you use a registered patent attorney? And can we make it at a price the consumer will pay for it? If you have the right answers on all of those, the next conversation is about 15 minutes. And then they will ask you some other questions. But you got to get to the second conversation. And they just, because they're so busy and there's so many products out there, if you didn't use the registered patent attorney, it's not worth the trial and error to try to defend it.
Okay. Well, maybe it's good just to get resources, like you said, if you have the right resource.
So you can have
that will be good.
you can have somebody take a look at it and then actually, go in and take over as your attorney of record, because that's what a licensee would be looking for. Who is your attorney of record?
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, they can go ahead and take a look at that. And then that you've got all the parts there. It's as broad as the artistry. And the reason why, it's difficult when the inventor does their own pro se work is that you know what it is and you wrote what it is. The artistry is bumping up against everything else that's out there, so you don't leave squeeze room for somebody else to infringe.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes that's hard.
Okay.
So another, just, have somebody take a look at it and, say, okay, we could do, a CIP is a continuation in part, and it's an addition or correction to what you filed. And so if you see anything, they can say, okay, here's where you could file so you'd have a stronger.
Okay. I think everything is good though on my end, but I'm just saying if need be, if I need to reach back out to attorney, but I'm pretty sure right now I'm in the process of actually just making more of my product, because I want to be kind of like Jenny, selling, but also trying to even get it out on the market into stores too. So that's kind of like my avenue of attack.
One of our radio shows that we're going to be doing, I can't remember exactly when we're doing it. I think we're doing it the March 25th, the last March, is going to be how to sell on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
TikTok shop. And, there's different criteria for that. But if you're doing product, you're the inventor of the product, you can do TikTok shop, and it is less expensive than Amazon and a little bit less chance right now, certainly, of being ripped off.
Yeah, no, I was selling on Etsy for a while, and then it was becoming really just frustrating and hard on my end. But yeah, I was selling my invention on Etsy, but then I got off of Etsy, and yeah, so I stopped selling social media. I wanted to sell more in person.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, get to a show and take orders
okay.
so that you're selling wholesale. That's the way to do it. Now, wholesale pricing, all right,
Mhm.
when a buyer is looking at your product, they know in their head what their retailers would pay for it. All right, within reason. All right, they know the ballpark. Right, and you need to keep in mind that if their ballpark says this product would sell for $20, you have got to be able to make it, package it, and ship it for $4. Everybody in the consumer world works on a multiple of 5. And for a lot of inventors, that multiple of 5 is a killer. All right. You know, when you're, Jenny, and you're able to get to the point where you're manufacturing thousands at a time. But the inventors, when they look at that multiple of 5, they're lucky if they break even. All right. So they're not making any money. They're just trying to not go in the hole. And a licensee has to deal with the same multiple of 5. It's just that instead of making 500 or 5,000 at a time, they're making 20,000 or 50,000. And they generally own the shelf space where they're putting product.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start looking then at those different criteria of what you have to be, pet products. All right. Most people don't realize that all of the shelf space in those PetSmarts and Target owned by 4 companies in the US. So if you don't have a different way of being able to get your product out there and one of those 4 companies doesn't like it, you're going to have a hard time. All right. So now social media and Amazon and e-commerce has become a big option for some types of products. But you don't always, Inventors, we had one 15 years ago that was a pet product. And when I told her, it's like, did you know? They had no idea, but they did go into manufacturing. And the most pet tags are lost at doggy daycares. The dogs are playing and running around, and
It's
so
21 hours.
They sold their product at the doggy daycare centers. When people would go in and say, my dog lost the tags, and did you find them? And they open their box or their drawer or their trunk, and there's 5,000 dog tags in there. Said, you might want to get one of these. And my 2 dogs both still have that dog tag holder on their dog tags. But when you know up front what your challenges are, what the limitations of the industry are, you make better business decisions.
Mm-hmm. That's why I really want to go with you guys in March, but it's so soon. just to see the experience and,
so
write some notes down and stuff. But
yep, I mean, we're signing people up every day to go.
Okay.
So we are still taking people on. I had, I think, 3 more requests today to send out information about the show. And I've had people that say, I will be there and I will pay you to participate the day of the show, because they called me 2 days before I got on the airplane. And so people will sign up until the very last minute to go because they don't always know we're there.
Oh, okay. Now, is that the only show that you go to? Are you going to be going to another one this year?
No, this is the one that takes all products, all consumer categories. And so we will go to this one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's, a lot of time and energy to get it coordinated.
Mm-hmm.
So we do one. I've been to lots of others. I've been to the National Asphalt Show. It was not a very big show.
Was that one in Vegas too?
Oh no, this was in a high school in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, it was not a very big show. It was very productive. The clients licensed his product, but it was not, not very big. So I've done, the ABC Kids Expo, the Global Pet Expo, Med Trade several times, a couple of different fashion ones, outdoor living in Chicago over the years. So done a lot of different shows, but now we just limit it to just the one.
Oh, okay. Now, how about you, Jenny? What shows have you been to?
I have only done the Bridal Expo, which a friend of mine took that over and it kind of just dropped in my lap. So I said, sure, I'll do it. And it's not specifically a bridal item or a wedding item, but I kind of twisted it so it could be like a bachelorette party gift or party favors, or, even if the bridesmaids had fuller chests and needed to have the support of their bra and wanted to put the brazzles on. No, it's not fancy enough for a wedding gown. So I kept having brides say, "Oh, I don't know if it'll match my dress." And I said, no. Don't think about your dress. Think about bridesmaids, think about bachelorette party, bridal showers, fun stuff like that. So that wasn't specifically my target, but since it kind of dropped in my lap and my friend gave me a good deal, I said, heck, I just have to get it out there. I didn't have a great booth, but I was one of a kind because there were so many DJs, there were so many wedding planners, there were so many florists. So I felt good that I was the only one who was doing that. At least you should have seen so I put and Rita, I wanted to ask you if there's an opportunity to be in a raffle, but I put my products in a raffle and I wrote out the script, and I hear that they're announcing my gift, whoever's going to win it. The guy announcing it, he was stumbling. I mean, he couldn't say the word bra, fuller chest. He's bright red. I'm just like, oh my God, you're botching this so bad. I don't know why it makes men so uncomfortable, but anyway, it was funny.
I don't know. Now we are doing the innovation awards in our booth. And so all of the attendee, and they will be, the marketing company is going to put it out there, and it's on our big meter board. And so all of the attendees get to come and vote for their favorite new product in our booth.
Nice.
Oh,
And so the first place award is value of $6,000 that puts you out there. So yeah.
Wow.
And everybody who's in our booth is already entered automatically.
Nice.
I know, we thought about doing that the other day, and Mike, all right, the social media guy said, "How are you going to do voting?" And I said, "We just came up with the idea 2 hours ago. Give me a break." So
You'll figure it out.
I said, "We'll figure it out." And he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, I can do it online. They can just, go ahead and do it this way." So we'll figure it out. But drawings, I'm not sure. There's other things that we're going to be doing, new show, new options. So we're looking at doing everything we can. All right. Next year, we want them to do a product showcase that is just for Invent America. We'll see if we can convince them to do that. So
that would be cool.
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll work on it.
Yeah.
They're a work in progress. They're going to be sponsors for the radio show for the entire year. So
Wow.
I will have access to them on a regular basis.
Good.
That's great.
Any other questions, everybody?
I think I'm
Jenny,
good.
what's your website?
Well,
Oh, sure. I'll put it in the chat real quick.
but otherwise, you know how to find me, and if you've got any questions, shoot me an email, give me a call.
Okay, Jen. Great.
Thank
All right.
you.
Yep.
All right.
Gee, I'll shoot you out an email tomorrow with the stuff for the search and everything, and you'll be good to go.
Great.
all right. It was great meeting all you guys.
You
You
too.
too.
Great meeting you too. Thank you.
All right, guys.
All
Talk
right.
to you
See you
next month.
later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.